Jeff Bezos, the billionaire founder of Amazon, who started the company in a garage, he made a profound statement: big things start small. Welcome to Aanu's Growth Series, Episode 17. This is 30 lessons I learned before 30, and this is the 17th episode. And I'm here to talk about something that is like a pandemic among young people like me, and I am titling it Courage to Start Small. Courage to Start Small. I wanted to start by saying Martin Luther King Jr., the prolific leader, he said, if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you do, make sure you keep moving forward. Now, many people want to start great. That's like a paradox. Nobody starts great. Even if you are born as a star, you are born with the potential of being a star, not born as a star. Nobody, even if you have it handed over to you on a platter, nobody was born great. All of us were born normal. Nobody was born an adult. Now, it is what you do. The last episode we talked about time. It is what you do with your time that determines how great you become. If you give the child of a billionaire a company and you don't train the child on how to run the company, the child is going to break your heart. Let's just put it out, because that company will be like it never was a $1 billion company. All right, so talking about starting small, I want you to know that movement is movement, no matter how small it is. Just that's why I had to read that Martin Luther King statement. And even small steps count. And I also wanted to clarify a motive, because I'm trying to push something. There's no problem with you dreaming big, no doubt about that. No problem with you dreaming big. But the problem is many people are embarrassed to start small. In most cases, you shouldn't look to lead something big, a large organization, a large enterprise, a large company, when you have not led something small. You are heading for a shipwreck. Like I said, there are exceptions to this, but I'm talking to people who, majority of people in the Gen Z category, you don't have to make social media your challenger, because there are a lot of lies that happen on social media, and I'm sure we all know that already. You should not worry yourself when you are starting small. I think the most important lesson we need to learn here is that we have to start. We have to start. Starting small is not embarrassing. Starting small is brave. Small is a season. Small does not define your destiny. Small does not define you. Small does not define your dreams. Like I said, it's pretty much okay for you to dream big. You can already start dreaming about you riding in your own private jet. Nothing wrong about that. Question is, when are you starting? Because don't expect to start big. Some people will sit down and say, I have that investor that is going to bring $2 million to my business. Then I know I'm ready to start. Who is going to give you $2 million when they haven't seen a proof of concept? Do you think investors just throw away their money anyhow? Investors want to see the prospects, not the ideas. They have heard a lot of the ideas, and they know the statistics that a large percentage of startups fail. So why are you just sitting there and waiting for $10 million? When the $10 million come, I've already marked this amount for this. I'm going to hire this lawyer. I'm going to hire this CFO. It's not worth it. My message for you today: be prepared to start small. Have the courage to start small. Jeff Bezos started from the garage. I think Mark Zuckerberg started from his college dorm. Most of these big companies you're seeing, they started small. So why is it that our generation don't have the patience to start small? They dream big and they want to execute big. I can name a couple more people for you. They started small. Like I usually say, Bishop Oyedepo said, you don't grow big to manage well, you manage well to grow big. You grow, no tree starts from being big. Every tree started as a seed. Why don't you want to be that seed? I'm encouraging you today, be a seed. Start small, plant yourself, start. You have a big vision, start. Don't wait for the big execution. Failure is a movement. Failure is also considered a movement. Failure is not the opposite of success. No. Stillness is the opposite of success. Well, this is me that invented this. But failure is not the opposite of success. Most of the people who are great today, they will tell you they have tried things that have failed. They have, even till now, they are trying things that failed. Failure means you took an action. You stepped. It means you tried. It means you are not frozen. Because the fact that you failed means that you were doing something. And like Thomas Edison says, I did not fail 10,000 times. I have only learned 10,000 ways something is not being done. Thomas Edison, the founder of General Electric, if I'm right, he ended up becoming the one who brought research and development in vogue. Do you know what they do in research and development? They experiment. They expect you to try things and they expect you to fail. And you will still be paid a salary for doing things that fail. That's what research is. So why are you scared of failing? I'm not saying you should expect failure, but if it happens, that's just an event. Move on. I've talked about this in my episode, failure. I've forgotten the title, but something that had to do with failure. Social media wants to lie to us. They want to highlight only the good. They don't want to highlight the hours when people burn the candle. Greatness is actually built in the shadows. Nobody sees roots. In short, the day you see roots, that means the tree is dead. But it is those roots that hold the trees. Those extra hours, those days of uncertainties, those days where it looks like you have invested and you have wasted money, those days when it looks like maybe you are not in the right career path. But eventually, if you become great, it becomes a big deal. And that's what I want to tell you today. Receive the courage to start small. What do small seasons build? Remember, I'm telling you about the lessons I learned before 30. Right? I started small. I didn't start great. In short, maybe by the day I tell my story, it's a full episode, a full hour episode. I didn't start great. No, started small. Whatever I am here, whatever makes me think I have some form of authority to come here on social media and speak, is because I started small. I've had my own fair share of disappointments. I've had my own fair share of things that I did and failed. I've had my own fair share of investments I did and I lost. But I didn't give up. What do small seasons build? It builds skill. You build a skill. You build clarity. You build resilience. Joshua Selman, a man I respect a lot, says he doesn't respect a man that has not gone through pain. Pain of loss. Pain of failure. Because that kind of man will not understand when people are saying certain things. So, one thing for you to keep in mind, resilience. Build confidence. If you have failed before, and then you get to a bigger project and the thing looks like it's failing, your first reaction will not be to shut down. Your first reaction would be, how can I make this better? Why? Because you failed before on a smaller project. It builds character. Many people that snap for no reason is because they have not gone through the cycle of growth. Because if you have gone through the cycle of growth, there are certain things that will make you snap. There are certain things you just look at. I've been through this before. I want to share a little story with you about my tech journey. And this is just one of my stories of starting small. I started my career, should I say this, with a borrowed laptop. My wonderful friend and brother, his name is Kayode, he borrowed me his laptop. And it was his laptop, those years when I was working in MTN, I would use to download videos from online, and I would use those videos to learn programming. So I didn't start in short, I got an admission from NIIT, one of the leading IT training companies in Nigeria. I couldn't go because the school fees was massive. That was after they offered 50% scholarship. I still could not go. So I didn't start big. I started by self-learning, but there's something, I don't give up. If they say something is possible, then it has to be possible for me. I didn't start as a fancy person. I didn't start with a big flag. I think I've said in one of my videos, my wonderful friend, I'm not going to mention his name, laughed at me when I told him I wanted to become a software developer. He was a software developer then, and he laughed at me. At what age do you want to become a software developer? But we thank God for where we are. I had the hunger, I had the consistency. These are days of small beginnings, but real growths. And not all the projects I worked on were successful. I'll be lying to you if I told you all my projects were successful. Some of them failed. But those days were days that I take failure as feedback. That's the title of the previous podcast that I had made. I took failure as feedback. I had to learn a lot of things on the fly. There were days of configuring servers and I broke it. In short, I broke one of my boss's laptop at a new job because I was just experimenting things. But yeah, it has earned us what we have today. Start small. The danger for many people is not starting small. The danger is people don't think they have the capacity to wait that long for the result to start showing. No, every tree that stays long and produces season after season, they spend time before they grow, before they produce their first fruit. They spend a lot of time. It is trees, it is should I say fruits, what is called, I don't know if it's a fruit or something, trees and things that produce only once in a lifetime, that grow very fast. But if you want something that will keep producing season in, season out for you, you need to wait for it to grow. You need to wait for it to mature. You need to wait for it to start producing results. And that's why we need to start small. Make up your mind today and say, even if you are in the middle ground, as you are preparing for the next project, try to start from the beginning. Don't start from the middle. It's for your own advantage. Perfectionism, people that want things to be perfect, they want it to look perfect from get-go. They are the ones that I consider them people who are living in fear, but they think they are wise. Some people don't have a threshold for failure. Whenever there's failure, it breaks them. No, don't let failure break you. No, that's not us. That's not this generation. We're here to change the world. And many times you will try. Many times you will talk to people about your ideas and they will laugh at you. It's part of the process. Many times you are going to invest your small money in a project and you won't find one customer for 3 weeks. It's part of the process. But start from where you are. Start with what you have. Even when you don't feel ready, start. Because the future only honors those who start. If you have not started, when it is time to harvest, you will not have anything to harvest. And that's my message for you today. Make that one small move today. If you have already started, great, good luck, keep moving. But if you have not started yet, start today. Don't wait to start big. That thing is a mirage. Start now. One movement can change your trajectory tomorrow. One single movement. One borrowed laptop from me turned me to an international diplomat in 5 years or 6 years or whatever years. One borrowed laptop, one action of me borrowing a laptop to learn tech turned me to an international diplomat after 6 years. What else can offer you that kind of investment return? But if I did not start, I wouldn't know what the potentials that are embedded in those endeavors. So my message to you today, no matter how scary it looks, start. No matter how imperfect it looks, start. Because your reward will definitely come, especially if you are of this kingdom, the kingdom of Jesus Christ. God will make the lines to fall for you in pleasant places. Things will just align and you will just discover that you are no longer the person you used to be yesterday. Your experiences would dictate your character. So if you don't start now, you wouldn't have those experiences you need to have the character of a 6-figure or a 7-figure person or an 8-figure person or a billionaire. I pray for you that you will receive the courage to start and you will receive the courage to keep moving. Until the next time, my name is Aanu Growth, and this is 30 Lessons I Learned Before 30. I'll see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.